love, man. All right, so every interview that we do here in the basement is a first, because it's a first. But this is a first for me, interviewing somebody that plays the bass and has the exact same first name as me. And could you tell us what your name is, sir?
My name is Ivan Woodard.
Ivan, okay, you know what? You have one of the best names I've ever heard in the bass circus.
Fine. It's nice to hear that. Okay,
so that was a nice plan. Thank you, bro. Welcome to the basement. That's BASSMINT. And yes, I did spell it correctly, folks. I spelled it all correctly. And also joining us in the basement, we got Mr.
Read the magazine.
Education man. He's reading up on some bass stuff. Who we got there?
Mr. William Goldie Glenn.
And we also have, he's a bass player, by the way, legendary bass player. We also have
Miss Geneva Powers,
another Detroit bass player, and we have with us here
Kevin Edwards, guitar player.
A Detroit guitar player. Hey, it's still got strings on it, bro. You from Detroit? Welcome to the basement. And we also have with us the one behind that shiny bass.
That's right.
And we all up in Reggie Candy's basement. You know Reggie Candy, he's probably letting another legendary bass player in as we speak. He's not down here with us. So welcome to the basement. And tell me something I always like to ask. Tell me, when did you start playing the bass and why?
Well, actually I ain't started playing bass until I got in high school. But I started playing, I started playing in junior high, and I always wanted to play when I was a kid in elementary. And my uncle inspired, I kind of got my inspiration from him. And he plays guitar. And I used to always wanted to play, but by growing up, we didn't have, money to buy, instruments such as that. So my mother, she bought my brother a guitar and didn't buy me one. So I used to run and play his all the time. And I used to get me beat up all the time, Always wanted me to stop playing. And so then my desire just kept growing and growing, and by the time I got into high school, I went to Northwestern High School and got my wanting to play even more from Mr. Ernie Rogers. And when I got into the band there, I started playing in the rap house. We did the rap house, and I started playing in this marching band.
But what did you play? What instrument did you play in marching band?
I played tuba.
Bass clef is still in the family.
Yeah. I played the tuba, the trombone, and then my wanting to play so much. When I finally got my guitar first basis, I got a paper route and paid $35 for my first bass there, and but he didn't let me play until my senior year, play bass in school, till I learned all the blues.
Now, is that electric bass or upright?
I started playing upright, and then I went from upright to electric bass.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah, and then he told me to learn how to play blues in every key, and then after then, when I finally got to, that was back in the 9th grade. Then when I started in the band and everything, and then he kept switching me from different instruments and what have you. So I went from playing tuba to trombone to baritone, then playing keys and guitar and stuff. And I had 2 years ago, I just had my first acting debut. I do a little acting. And I did Office, this movie called Office Outbreak, and this other movie called Politics as Usual. It's the reenactment of back when Kwame Kilpatrick was in office. And they gave me a small role. And I just found that very amusing and exciting, so I'm going to be doing some more of that, you know. And I also did, went into composing. So I started composing music. So I did some of the music in the movie. So I'm getting a little experience in a lot of areas. So, and it's been a while since I picked up the bass. You know, I pick up the bass not as once when I first started, but I would play the bass. You know, I'll pick it up maybe 3 or 4 months at a time or whatever. But I'll do all these other stuff in between, you know. Right,
right. So you having fun doing what besides playing the bass? What's your passion? What you having fun doing there?
Well, I like composing is my passion.
Right.
I like composing.
Play the pencil.
Okay, that's cool. Now let me back up a little bit, because I think you took me from 1970 to 2012.
Oh yeah.
So when you started playing that bass and you know did the high school thing, did you get to play with any bands or anything like that?
Yes, I played. Well, after when I got in high school, and then after going to college and everything, and then I started having played with different artists. I started playing country music. I played with this artist his name is Gordon Phillips, and he's in country music. And so I went from there, and then I went and started playing in secular music as well. I did a few things quite briefly with the Parliaments and Funkadelics, and then from there I started going into church, and then I started playing church. Then I went and just hid out in church playing bass. Okay, well let me back up to the country thing. I'm curious to know, as a bass player, did you pick country or did country pick you? It sort of picked me, because I knew a guy, he named Fletch, he's a flutist. He told me about this country guy, and I went on tour with him. And did you listen to country music prior, or was it like or was this just a job? Music just, it don't matter to you. Folks just hear me playing. I used to go to different places, and they hear me playing, then they just sort of bring me in, you know. That is pretty cool, man. I would have never did a country gig if somebody, unless the money was right. Well, if the money was right, of course, but I would have like country. No, I had like blinders on. All I wanted to hear was some funk and some fusion. Yeah, and after all of these years, when I finally opened up my eyes, I'm upset with myself. All of this stuff I missed while it was happening, but it's too late. What can you do about it? But yes, I appreciate you telling me about that country stuff. So don't put no blinders on and try to be funk, or just open your ears to all music. That's right, because I've played in all kinds of groups. I played in a Middle Eastern group, playing polyrhythm. Playing those different rhythms, just like you was mentioned, polyrhythmic. And 10-note major scale and shit too. Yeah, only right. And learn. Say, how come y'all don't clap with y'all hands closed? They clap like this, and their hands like this. I say, how can you get it full? How can you get? You can't even really show nobody you really appreciate that when you applaud, clap your little hands like that. And but it was good. They gave me a new name when I was playing with them, and my name was Rashad back then when I used to play with them. And in learning their culture of music was kind of really out there, and it's really good, you know. And then after then, I started playing with gospel artists like the Clark Sisters. And oh, you play with the Clark Sisters? Yes. Oh man, that's one of my favorite
gospel groups from
yeah.
earlier, you know.
Clark Sheard and
Twinkie ain't no joke. She bad on the board.
What's that song? You give me joy, desire. That's one of my jams. Yeah.
They did that down in United.
Yeah.
You know who's playing on that, don't you?
On
Funkadelic is playing on that. Boosie on bass, Gary on guitar.
You kidding me?
I was down there when they did it. I think it was 80 when it was the same time Boosie was doing that Body Slam. They was in 2 different studios. I think the Clarks was in Studio A at the time. Boosie was doing some overdub. And I came in the studio and, you know, they knew Don and, you know, they high end here, you know, well known here in the city. And I don't know the story. Twinkie had to tell you the story, but they walked in or whatever, and Gary and Boosie walked in the booth. I can't remember Bernie's playing keyboard. Now I think Twinkie did the keyboards on that.
Love Bernie Wood.
I think Twinkie did all the board work, but that's Boosie. And I think the drummer is P-Funk drummer. There might be Dennis or Tyrone on one of them, but P-Funk did that. If you look on the credits, I know Gary playing guitar.
I never looked on the credits. In fact, I was up there when he was doing a couple of albums. We was doing in Studio A, and I almost got hit by Felipe Wynn.
You talking about in United?
Yeah. What was the
Studio A was the one, the big studio. When you walk down the hall, when you went down, open the door, and you went down the steps. Studio B was when you first walk up and they had the sliding doors, and they had the other board up in there. That was like overdub for vocals or something like that.
What was the name of the album that they were doing that Felipe sung on?
The Clark Sisters?
No,
Flashlight.
No, the first album Felipe was on was the One Nation album. He sung on One
Not
Nation.
just Needy.
No, that was way before. There was a One Nation album. That was like 77.
When they were doing the Needy.
In the 76.
When they were doing the Needy album.
That's later on. That's Funkadelic. Felipe did that.
When we was recording there at the same time.
Oh, you was with the Clark Sisters then?
No, I was with Ivy Joe Hunter.
Okay.
And after our session was through, I left, and Felipe Wynn almost ran me over in his pimped out Cadillac.
Okay.
And then, because we, cutting through this alley, and then they said,
that back alley.
Yeah. And then they said, that was Felipe Wynn. You should have let him run you over.
You got paid too.
Nah, I'd probably be jacked up.
You probably be.
All right, I don't know how. Once again, but so after the Clark Sisters, name some of the other people that we might be familiar with.
Well, I did some playing I actually sat in one of his gigs. Ransell, and he's a gospel singer.
Okay.
Yeah, bad man.
Yeah, and
awesome.
And who else?
I know how the list is, man. I'm still trying to put together a list of everybody I played with, and every time I turn around, after it's all said and done, I always forget somebody.
Yeah,
so
I forgot. Right,
so I understand what you're going through. So
Vanessa Williams and
which one?
Vanessa. Not Vanessa Williams. What's that? Vanessa.
Bill Armstrong.
Yeah.
Okay. I started to say that, but I wanted you to say it.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. So what you up to now, bro? What's happening up to today? What we got going on, Ivan?
Well,
that sounds weird saying that.
I just got so many things going on. I'm just trying to do what I do, cause.
Now we talked about you like acting, right?
Yeah.
And you've been a part of. Let's talk about those again. What's the name of the movies? Because I want to go see them, or rent the DVD,
the
or
DVDs in Blockbuster,
or get them free on YouTube. Yeah. Whatever I can do.
You could go either or.
Now I got a membership with Blockbuster, so I go get it. So what's the name of it?
Office Outbreak.
Office
Outbreak.
Office Outbreak.
And Politics as Usual.
And Politics as Usual.
Yes.
So we can rent either one of these movies or buy them.
Right.
And we can catch you at 16 on the counter on 1624 or whatever. Or you leave.
You're gonna hear me on the first one I mentioned.
Right. Office Outbreak.
Right.
Okay, now are you lead or you that $875 paid extra or?
Oh, I'm in there. I just do the music in there.
Okay.
And in Politics as Usual, I play that Sam Riddle, one of his.
So you're a character, not an extra. Yeah. Okay, cool. I might have to get your autograph after I see the movie now.
Okay, yeah. Well, when you see, tell all your friends, you know.
Oh, I'm gonna tell everybody.
You ain't gotta tell nobody now. 30,000 people know now. You ain't gotta tell nobody.
Yeah, I'm still gonna tell them. And
yeah, my nephew, he's in the forefront of it. He put the whole thing together. His name is Sean Woodard.
Sean Woodard.
Yes.
Okay, so he does movies.
Well, he actually wrote the whole movie.
Oh, that's cool. Did he produce it too? Directed?
Yeah, he produced it and directed.
So he's one of our local filmmakers.
Right.
And his name is Sean Woodard.
Yes.
Any production company, in case he got some movies coming out, and I can go, or anybody else want to give try acting.
Right. And also, we have our own production. It's called Woodard Entertainment.
Woodard Entertainment. You got a website?
Yeah.
WoodardEntertainment.com or?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. All right. We're gonna definitely do that. And anybody got any questions for this fine bases here?
I do.
Okay.
Now, I understand that you make bases as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, this one here, at least need a little therapy because after being, you know, like I'm being like a community activist, so to speak, trying to keep our neighborhoods going up. And I haven't picked it up a little bit.
Well, now, what neighborhood you activating or advising?
Well, where I stay in Detroit, Michigan, over on the west side.
Oh, okay, cool.
And we trying to bring back our city. You know, we should be dancing in the streets. We were Motown, right? We are Motown, right?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Right,
now,
that's right.
now what are we doing playing hockey in the street? Not having anything wrong with that, but we're supposed to be dancing in the street. We ain't supposed to be doing all this other stuff, you know, that they got going on and everything.
So you build the bases. You have people help you build them, or?
Well, I build them myself. I got a base that I built. I call it. I haven't gave it a name yet. It's very light, but got much It got much bottom to it. Because since I have.
Well, I want to see it. Picture of it or something you ain't bringing with you today in the basement.
I just grabbed some because I had. The diva, she came.
She said, "Come on, let's go." And you did.
I just grabbed.
She didn't give us time to shower, brush our teeth, comb our hair.
Didn't get no breakfast.
None of that. One in bank robbery.
I came all the way from the east side.
Look, let's go now. The millions is in the truck, and we gotta get it right now.
Yeah, that's insane too. Well, you know they work funky too when they pick up on bases.
Yeah,
you work funky.
Got to come down here with all of y'all, letting the world know, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, look, man.
This beautiful lady right here, she ain't let me bathe, man. I ain't no bath for 3 days, man.
I heard the funk in your bass, bro. I heard it.
See?
I smelt it.
See?
Well, he been eating burritos. That's all.
Okay, so we ain't want to keep you, man. Is it anybody else have any questions for this fine basis?
Yeah, I skirted around a guy named Woodard. I was wondering if you were related to Lyman.
Lyman Woodard?
No.
Everybody been asking. I've been getting that just about every
Lyman used to
time.
work the out of me, man.
Yeah.
He was hard on the bass player because he had a mean left hand.
Yeah, he played.
Lyman
When he
Woodard
played bass with his foot.
Right.
You remember at Cobb's Corner? He used to play
Him and never Rod Lumpkin.
Right.
Yeah, Rod wasn't no joke neither.
Crazy with his feet, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
And when he took the track out and you had to do, boy, there was some shoes to fill.
Oh yeah. Only one that they liked it back then that I can remember was Ralph. Ralph could come in because he knew that feel.
Yeah,
you know, we call that foot stomp, that organ bass feel.
Well,
Ralph had that like. Like she got that singing and playing. I mean, that was his era. You
Rudy
know?
Robinson was the only cat on the keyboard that walked bass like Jameson walked on bass.
Right. Rudy had that left hand like that.
Madness.
Yeah. It's funny that you said it because you took it. I was just about to bring up Rudy. Rudy had that Jameson on his left hand. You walk out of the room and you could have swore it was a bass player there because all that passing tone, great stuff. Man, how you get that on the keyboard, man? He had no pedals, no numbers. This is feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played with Rudy. He was, matter of fact, he, like he said earlier, he was the main bass player in their little group. And then when he wouldn't make it, I would sit in for him and take his place sometime. Over there, it was Gracie's. Different spots around, but Gracie's was y'all main spot for a minute. Yeah. Oh, that was y'all spot.
Look, I got pictures.
Rod could play bass lines, like an 8-bar bass lines with nothing but 8s in it, and it would have 6 and 7 passing tones in a row before you got to a principal tone. And I'm saying, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you talking about the do.
But yeah, but you know, like I said, the shape of his lines was like, damn. But you really had to understand that those notes were like right next together each other. They were keyboard
right for us on our fretboard.
On baseboard, you can't do that.
It's
you can't
different.
do that.
Yeah,
you know, you can't do nothing but one note at a time.
And then we only had four
double notes on the same string.
Right, and then, right. And then we only had 4 strings. Wasn't no 5s back then. We couldn't get low, and they would jump down.
And there would be no, same attack and decay on each note. And I was like, man, oh man.
I'm gonna tell y'all a story, man. A friend of ours, y'all might know him by the name of, everybody know him. One of my main guitar players I use in a band that I have, I didn't mention it. It's called Soul Unit. We do stuff whenever, right? But we're working on some original stuff now. By the name of Ron Smith. Ron is a friend of ours, right? His father's the lead singer with the Spinners from years, Bobby. So Ron and I were up at Baker's Keyboard Lounge. Just had to be like 79. Right, just hanging out. We was on the west side, hanging out there, and nothing to do. I said, let's stop. I said, cool. So they were doing a trio thing up there. It was right before these guys passed away. What years? It was Groove Home. No, it was Jack McDuff, Jimmy Smith, and Charles Earland. Those 3 was like up there, I think, for the whole weekend or something. Me and Ryan came in. So Big Charles, right? We came in. So Charles just kept looking at me, man. I guess he said, well, I'm light-skinned, he light-skinned. He must know, because he was trying to find Ralph, right? So after he got off this podium stage doing this thing, he came over there, me and Ryan in the little booth. He came and sat in our booth. I was saying to myself, I said, something about to happen, right? Nothing negative, but something about to happen. So he said, hey, brother talking to me, he's like, you look kind of cool, or something to that aspect. He was like, you know Ralph? And right when he said Ralph, first person came to mind was Ralph. I said, you talking about a guy bass, Ralph Armstrong? So he said, yeah, y'all, what you call him? Guy? I said, yeah, I could see that. So we got talking and stuff. So he told me, he said, man, Ralph is the only bass player I let sit on my set. He the only bass player I hired. And I asked him, so next question, of course, well, why? He said Ralph is the only one that know that foot stomping feel, the organ feel.
Okay.
So we talk about the Detroit.
I mean,
it was straight ahead.
It was like Charles. They took a break. Charles, I think Jimmy Smith, he won. Talked to somebody. He was talking with a few people. Jack McDuff, he won, kicked it with somebody there. And Charles, you know, Big Curly, he from Philly, I think. He's from Philly. He came and sat right in the little booth with me and Ron Smith. Me and Ron was just over there chilling, checking him out, man. I think we were like late teenagers. Ron a little older than me, so I had to be like 19. Ron might have been like 22, something like that, right? It got me by a few years. And when I heard him say that, and I was like, well, why? He said, man, because Ralph guys like that don't know how to get in the way, don't get in my way. That's what he said. He know how to play with me and don't get in my way.
He's a mature bass player.
Mature bass player. But I mean, you know, you had like Fonzo, all these guys that's major league masters. But he just said, because I asked him, I said, what about Fonzo? He said, Fonzo's good. He said, but I like Ralph. He said, something about y'all Detroit guys. Y'all got a thing on y'all. And I was like 19, right? I think I was messing around with Funkin' them at the time. Me and Lonnie was 79, 78, we was around. It was like that just stuck in my head, man. It just blew my mind. I was like, I knew about Ralph. You know, we knew about Ralph, but it was like, wow. You know, because he was like, Oregon players, man, we don't need no bass player.
Yeah.
And them guys you just named, Lyman, Ron Lumpkin, boy, they used to be hard on a bass player. Cobbs, what's Jimmy D's up there on Livernois?
20 grand.
20 grand. What's the other joint? The Hobby Bar.
But don't know, a lot of people don't understand. You had to be old enough to know the Rapper House.
The Rapper House. Yeah. I wasn't old enough to go up in. I snuck in there a couple times.
Yeah, we went up there all the
you know,
time.
but they.
Me and Wendell used to live in there.
I know y'all a little older than me. Y'all older than me.
That's Roger's place.
I always wanted to go down there and hang, right? But it'd be like they looking at me and I just getting a little peach fuzz down there. So what I did was I took some of my sister's hair dye.
I know you
and I clipped some hair, I think off our dog or something, and mixed it with some little adhesive, and just did my thing like this, and dyed his hair because we had like a brown dog. I'm just stupid. Y'all know how I am now. I said I'm getting up in the Rap House tonight because everybody, all my dogs said they hanging. Did that. It's wintertime through the hood, the Eskimo hood on. Walk on through. I think that was my one and only time I was able to get up in there.
Hey, did the Rap House still be open?
No, they tore it down.
They tore the building down.
Hey, is there anything that you wanted to say in closing before we let you go and play us out, man?
Well, I'm gonna do more gospel now than anything else.
Okay.
Let me see.
So you gonna just go and play us out?
Yeah, well, I try this little something. Let me see.
All right.